Mary was a young girl. She used to get annoyed with everything. She had a negative attitude towards life. Once, when she felt that life was unbearable, she asked her father what to do. She told him that if she was able to manage and solve one problem, another one followed quickly. Her father consoled her and took her to the kitchen. He asked Mary to take a potato, an egg, and 2 spoons of tea leaves. Mary was surprised and asked her father, "Do you want me to cook?" "No," her father said. He then took 3 vessels and poured 1 cup of water in each vessel. The vessels were placed on the stove. Once the water started to boil, he dropped the potato in a vessel, egg in the second one, and the tea leaves in the third one. "Why are you doing all these things?" Mary asked, really annoyed with her father. "Just wait 15 minutes, said her father. The impatient daughter managed to wait for around 15 minutes. Father removed the potato from the pot and placed in a plate. He did the same with the eggs. He filtered the tea decoction using a cup. Now he placed the 2 plates, one with the potato and the other with the egg and a cup of tea in front of Mary. He asked Mary, "What do you see?" "Potato, egg, and a cup of tea," said Mary. "No, you are wrong," said her father. "Look at it closely and answer me." Mary replied the same. "Now touch it and answer me." The potato was cooked and was soft, the egg was boiled hard, and the tea carried a nice aroma. Mary couldn't find the correct answer. Her father said, "The potato was so hard and strong before it was boiled, now it has turned soft and smooth. Also, the egg was delicate, but after boiling it became hard. Sip the tea, it is delicious." Mary asked, "What does it mean, father? I don't understand." Each object responded differently to water. Each object was put under the same kind of circumstances, faced similar adversities, but reacted differently. The potato, when put in boiling water, became very weak. The soft egg became very hard when we put it in boiling water, and the tea leaves are unique. It changed the water itself, giving it a unique flavor and aroma. It gave something new. Mary understood that we can create something new and unique even when we experience adversities. So, what are you? A potato, an egg, or a tea leaf? Once upon a time, there lived a strange bird with 2 heads, one facing the left and the other facing the right. The 2 heads used to fight and argue with each other, even for very simple reasons. Though they shared the same body, the 2 heads behaved like rivals. The strange bird lived in a big banyan tree along the bank of a river. One day, while flying over the river, the left head of the bird saw a beautiful tree that had a bright red fruit. The left head of the bird wanted to eat the fruit, and the bird flew down to pick the fruit from the tree. The bird plucked the sweet-smelling fruit and sat by the banks of the river and started eating it. The fruit was eaten by the left head. While it was eating, the right head asked, "Can you give me a piece to taste?" The left head said, "See, we have only one stomach, so even if I eat in my mouth, it will go only into our stomach. But I want to taste the fruit, so you should give me." The left head replied in anger, "I saw the fruit, and hence I have the right to eat it without sharing with anyone." The right head felt sad and became silent. A few days later, while the bird was flying over the river again, the right head saw a beautiful pink fruit in a tree. The bird flew down near the tree and tried to pick the fruit and eat it. The other birds living in the tree said, "Don't eat it. It is a poisonous fruit. It will kill you." The left head shouted, "Don't eat it. Don't eat it." However, the right head did not listen to the left head. The right head said, "I will eat it because I saw it. You have no right to stop me." The left head shouted, "Please don't eat it. We will all die." The right head said, "Since I saw it, I have the right to eat it." Clearly, the right head was trying to take revenge on the left head for not sharing the red fruit with it earlier. Finally, the pink fruit was eaten by the right head, and in a few minutes, the strange bird with the 2 heads dropped down dead. Moral: a quarrel by the individuals in a family will affect the whole family badly. Sweet, lovable and beautiful girl, aged 6 years. She was an adorable kid as she always obeyed her elders. Many's parents loved her for her amazing behavior. One day, Menu's mother took her for grocery shopping. As they passed the shops, Menu noted a cute plastic pearl necklace in dazzling pink. She asked her mother to buy her the necklace. Her mother told her that it cost quite a few pennies. She asked her to do some chores, so that for every completed piece of work Menu would get some money and she could buy the pink necklace. Menu prepared a to-do list and assisted her mom with all the chores. Her mom was very happy and she paid enough money to buy the pink necklace. Menu happily purchased the necklace and wore it just everywhere every time except while taking bath. Her mother said that her neck would turn pink and the pearls would lose their sheen if she wore it while bathing. But all other times Menu wore it even while sleeping. Menu's father used to tell her bedtime stories frequently. One night, after completing a story, her dad asked how much she loved him. Menu replied, "You know how much I love you." Dad asked, "Then give me your pearl necklace, please." Menu replied, "Please, Daddy, I love you so much, but please don't ask for these pearls. I will give you the pink Barbie which you bought me a month ago." Dad replied, "Fine, sweetheart." After a few days, the conversation was repeated between Menu and her dad. Again, Menu refused to give her pearl necklace and instead asked her dad to take her pet. Dad kissed her and left with a smile. This was repeated several times. Pink pearl necklace. One day, Menu slept while her dad was reading her story. She was holding the necklace in her hands. Her dad took the pearl necklace from her hand. The next moment she woke up and asked, "Dad, what are you doing?" Dad quickly opened a jewel box placed near her bed and handed her a real precious pink pearl necklace. He said, "Sweetheart, this is your real necklace. I wanted to take away the fake one all this while to give you this real one." She replied, "Thank you, Dad." Menu immediately gave up her fake necklace for the real one. God wants us to give up all the fake and cheap things we consider very precious in our life. It can be habits, hatreds, harming relationships, activities, negative thoughts, etc. He will provide us with genuine.
An old man who had 4 sons. All 4 of them were very lazy. One day, the old man fell sick and was counting his last days in bed. He worried a lot about his son's future as the young men hesitated a lot to work. The sons believed that luck would favor them. The old man's health deteriorated every day and he decided to talk to his sons about their future. However, his sons did not listen to him. Finally, the old man decided to play a trick to let his sons realize the importance of work. He called all his sons and let them sit near him on his bed. He said that he had a treasure box with gold coins and expensive gems for them and wanted to share the treasure equally among the 4 of them. The young men were very happy and asked where his father had placed the treasure. The old man replied, "I cannot exactly remember the place where I have hidden the treasure. However, the treasure box is buried in that land. I'm really not sure about the place where I have hidden the treasure box." Even though the lazy young sons were happy, they were sad that the old man had forgotten the place where the treasure was hidden. After a few days, the old man died. The sons decided to dig the land to find the treasure box. They worked very hard and dug their land. They could not find any treasure box in the land. Finally, they decided to dig a spot in their land that was a bit different from the rest of the area. The sons believed that the treasure was buried in that spot. They dug the specific spot deeply, but got nothing but water. The passerby who noticed the land and the water flowing from the spot talked to the sons about farming. Upon his advice, the 4 sons sowed vegetable seeds and planted greens and flowering plants in their land. Since the land was very fertile with abundant water, within a few weeks it became a fertile garden with nutritious vegetables and greens. The 4 sons sold the vegetables at a good price and earned a good amount of money. Then they realized that it was hard work that was referred to as treasure box by their father. Gradually, the 4 sons overcame their laziness, worked hard, earned more money, and lived happily. Hard work always pays. Once upon a time, there lived a generous and kind-hearted king. But the people weren't happy with their king because the king was very lazy and would not do anything other than eating and sleeping. He spent days and weeks and months in his bed either eating something or sleeping. The king became a potato couch and the people started to worry about the king. One day the king realized that he couldn't even move his body, not even his foot. He became very fat and his enemies made fun of him, calling him Fatty King, Bulky King, etc. The king invited expert doctors from various parts of his country and offered them generous rewards to make him fit. Unfortunately, none could help the king gain his health and fitness. The king spent enormous amounts of money, but everything went in vain. One fine morning, a holy man visited the country. He heard about the ill health of the king, and informed the minister at the palace that he could easily cure the king. Hearing these promising words, the minister became very happy. He requested the king to meet the holy man to get rid of his problem. The holy man resided at a distant place. Since the king could not move his body, he asked the minister to bring the holy man to the palace, but the holy man refused. He said that the king had to go to him in order to get cured. After strenuous efforts, the king met the holy man at the latter's residence. The holy man complimented the king, saying that he was a good ruler, and said that he would soon regain his health. He asked the king to come for treatment the next day. He told the king also that the king would be treated only if he came on foot to the holy man's residence. The king was unable to walk even a few steps on the road, but aided by his followers, he reached the holy man's place. Unfortunately, the holy man was not available there, and his devotee requested the king to come and meet him the next day for treatment. This was repeated for 2 weeks, and the king never met the holy man and never had any treatment. Gradually, the king realized that he felt a lot lighter, lost a considerable amount of weight, and felt more active than before. He realized the reason why the holy man asked him to reach his place by walking. Very soon, the king regained his health, and the people were very happy in his kingdom. Health is wealth. Desire to walk when you have wings to fly. Once upon a time, there lived a generous and kind-hearted king. He was fond of birds and animals, and had a huge bird sanctuary in his kingdom. He disliked harming the animals and birds. He did not kill them even for meat. In appreciation of his generosity and kindness towards birds, the king was gifted 2 beautiful falcons by a businessman. Those 2 falcons were used at different climatic conditions. The king thanked the businessman and ordered the head bird trainer to provide all the facilities to those beautiful falcons and make them feel comfortable in their country. The head trainer took care of the birds. Gradually, the birds got adapted to the country's climate. One day, the king wanted to see the falcons fly, as he had heard that one of those falcons could fly to great heights at very high speed. The bird trainer let the falcon out of the enclosure. It flew very high, very quickly, and came down to the enclosure within minutes. The king was quite surprised and rewarded the bird trainer with a handful of gold coins. He inquired about the other falcon. The bird trainer stated with regret that the other falcon had not moved even a step from day one, and had just sat on the branch. The trainer also added that he had tried everything he could but still failed to make the bird move. The king consoled him and told him that he would bring someone more experienced than him to try to train the other falcon. Soon, the king announced that he needed someone to make the falcon move and fly. Hearing this announcement, an old man reached the king's palace and assured him that he would make the bird fly like the other one. The king asked the head trainer to take the old man to the sanctuary to train the falcon. He said that he would visit them the next day to see if there was any change. The next day, the king was very surprised to see the other falcon fly like the first one to great heights and rapid speed. The king was very happy and gifted the old man a handful of gold coins. Then the king asked the old man what he had done to make the bird fly in a day. The old man simply replied, "I just cut down the branch of the tree where the falcon used to sit." Many of us are like this. We have wings to fly, we know how to fly and where to fly. Still, we sit doing nothing or doing something that makes us inferior to others. Don't sit still when you have wings to fly. Once, there was a huge tree with a broad trunk and innumerable branches right in the middle of a dry land. The tree gave rest and shelter to hundreds and thousands of travelers. Being located near 4 towns and many villages, the tree was an ideal meeting point for travelers. One day, 2 travelers reached the tree after a long time of walking. Their destination was one of the towns nearby. It was a hot and sunny day, and the travelers were very happy to take a rest under the tree. Exhausted, they slumped under the tree. They slept for a while, enjoying the cool shade and the soft breeze. After a while, one of the travelers got hungry. They had no food with them. The hungry traveler looked up at the tree to see if there was any fruit. Finding none, he began to curse the tree. "Oh, this is just a useless tree, and it has nothing to feed us, not even a fruit or even nuts. It is of no use." The other traveler comforted him and asked him to stay cool. However, the hungry man continued cursing the tree. The tree, which could not tolerate the cursing words of the traveler, said in a sad yet strong voice, "You can't be so ungrateful to me. Just think of your condition when you reach here in the hot and dry sun. I offered you a cool and comfortable place to rest and sleep with a soothing breeze. If I was not here, you would have died now. I saved your life from the hot sun, but you humiliate me." The traveler realized his mistake and apologized to the tree. "Be grateful for your blessings."
They were very close companions. They were neighbors, classmates at school, and later colleagues at work. One day they decided to go on a sea voyage to explore strange lands. They began their voyage on a cruise ship and travelled far and wide. However, in the course of their trip, the weather turned very destructive. The ship was wrecked in the middle of the ocean. Most of the passengers were killed, but Kim and Ray could swim to a nearby island. The island was deserted. Not even a tree was there. Kim and Ray realized that they could not survive on the island without divine intervention. They decided to pray to God. They wanted to see whose prayer would be more powerful. Kim moved to the eastern tip of the island, knelt down and began to pray there. Ray went to the western tip of the island and prayed there. Kim prayed to God to give him food to survive. Surprisingly, he got a pile of food, fruits and vegetables on the seashore. After 2 days, he requested for a beautiful girl as his wife, as he was feeling very lonely on the island. In a few hours, there was a shipwreck near the island and a lone survivor, a beautiful girl. Kim married the girl. Whatever Kim prayed for was granted to him. Almost a month after the shipwreck, Kim decided to move back to his hometown. He prayed to God to send him a ship to take him home. Sure enough, there came a ship to take Kim and his wife home. As the couple was about to enter the ship, Kim heard someone speak to him. It was just a voice. "Are you going alone, leaving your companion of life here?" Kim was surprised. "May I know who is this and whom you are referring to? I have my wife with me." The voice said, "I'm the one to whom you offered your prayers, whom you requested to save your life, and whom you requested food and shelter, and of course, a wife." Kim knelt down in awe and said, "Thank you, God." Then Kim remembered about Ray, whom he had forgotten all this time. He was overcome with guilt. God said to him, "I was not answering your prayers, I was only fulfilling Ray's prayers." He prayed for only one thing. He said, "Please fulfill all of Kim's prayers." That was his only prayer. Kim was in tears and rushed to the other side of the island. He realized that he had not even thought about his best friend Ray and was happily enjoying his own life. He could not find Ray there. He asked God, "Where's Ray?" God replied, "I took him with me. The man with the golden heart should be with me, but I will fulfill all your prayers as I promised him to do so." Kim was completely broken. He realized why his friend's prayers were more powerful. It was because Ray's prayers were totally selfless. Moral selflessness is the highest form of prayer. Once, there was a poor boy who made a living by selling various objects from door to door. This was the way he earned money to pay for his school. One day, as he was walking from house to house as usual, he felt very hungry and weak. He felt that he couldn't walk even a few steps. He decided to ask for food at a house. He knocked on the door and was stunned to see a beautiful young girl open the door. With much hesitation, he asked the girl for a glass of water. The young girl understood his condition and offered him a huge glass of milk. With an astonished look, the boy drank the milk very slowly. "How much do I owe you for this milk?" he asked her. The girl replied, "I do not want any money for this." The boy thanked the girl from the bottom of his heart and left the place. Years passed by. The young girl grew up. In her youth, unfortunately, she fell ill and was diagnosed with the rarest kind of nervous disorder. Many experienced doctors were baffled at her condition, and she was admitted in the city hospital with the most advanced facilities. Dr. Kevin, a renowned neurospecialist, was called in by the hospital to examine her. Even with his extraordinary expertise, Dr. Kevin found the girl's illness very hard to cure. However, with perseverance and hard work that lasted months, he was finally able to get the disease under control. With careful medication and monitoring, the girl was completely cured in the end. Everyone praised the doctor, but the girl was quite worried about how much the hospital bill would come to. Her family had just a little money kept away in the bank, which was by no means enough to pay for such a long treatment in that reputed hospital. The girl was given the hospital bill finally. With trembling hands, she opened it. She was stunned to see that the bill had been crossed out and cancelled, and there was a note underneath signed by Dr. Kevin. Bill paid years ago with a glass of milk. Moral: one good turn begets another. It was a cold and windy night. My friend and I had met after a long time and were chatting for hours. We did not notice the time passing by, and soon it was close to 10 in the night. We decided to take an auto rickshaw to go to our house. It started raining, and we hurried to get into an auto rickshaw and reach our place. None of the auto rickshaws stopped for us except one. The driver asked us where we wanted to go, and we told the place. Without saying anything about the fare, he said, "Please get in." We thanked him and got in. Since it was very cold, I asked the driver to stop at any small restaurant or a tea shop. We wanted to have a cup of hot tea. The driver stopped near a small restaurant. We ordered tea and asked the driver to join us and have a cup of tea. The driver refused. I insisted, but he refused again politely. My friend asked, "Will you not take tea from this shop or what?" The driver replied, "No, sir, I don't feel like having tea now." I asked again, "But why? A cup of tea will do no harm." Smiling, the driver replied, "Thank you, sir, but I am sorry." My friend asked, "Are you against eating or drinking outside?" The driver said no. I was really surprised at his behavior and asked my friend not to compel him. In 15 minutes, we reached our house. We paid the fare and the driver thanked us. On an impulse, I stopped him, as I really wanted to ask him why he refused to drink tea with us at the restaurant. He thought for a moment and replied, "Sir, my son passed away this noon in an accident. I don't have enough money for his funeral, so I took a vow not to drink even water until I earn enough money for my son's funeral. That's why I didn't drink tea when you offered. Please don't misunderstand." We both were shattered and offered him more money for his son's funeral. He politely refused. "Thank you for your generosity, sir. In 1 or 2 hours, if I get 1 or 2 more customers, I will earn the money I need." And he left the place. We were amazed at his strength of character and integrity.